Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of rumble.com/JJW, where your two dads drink coffee and talk news, politics, culture, pop culture. And on Fridays, we talk about Fringe. Hey, there's Deacon. You ready, Deacon? What's up,
No.
D? Okay, bye. Deacon, come back in here. What's going on? How are you?
I had everything done and was like, oh, wow, I've got everything done. And 20 minutes before the show starts. And I swear to Jesus, I've got to put my head, I don't have everything done.
It happens. I don't know how it happens.
I don't know what happened. What happened? I thought I had everything done. And I look up and it's like the show's starting and I was sitting here typing. I've been typing for 15 minutes and I didn't even realize what I was doing for, you start, oh, that's interesting. And you're like, and you're like, oh my God.
I saw you over on the Mods channel post something. I was like, Deke, it's
I didn't realize what time it was. I looked up at the clock a minute ago and it was like 6:15. I was like, okay, it's 6:15.
Yeah. Oh, we got tons of time. There's so much time. We got so much time. Yeah. Same. Like 3 minutes ago, my wife was over here and she was like, let me, is it okay if I do whatever I need to do to get out of the day? And I'm like, yeah, of course. What are you talking about? And she's just talking and talking and talking. And I'm like, yeah, of course. You go to the gym, go get coffee, go whatever you want to do. I don't care what you do. And I look down, it's 7:27 and she's still going on. And I'm like, hold on, wait a second. And this is going to be an endless loop of you just asking me if it's cool for you to do it. You're going to do it. I'm just going to say yes. I need to concentrate because I'm supposed to be doing a show here in a minute. So anyway, yeah, same thing happened to me, dude. I woke up and I was like, did I finish that episode? Let me make sure I finished that episode. Is everything aligned up? Is there anything I'm supposed to? And then all of a sudden I look down and I'm like, oh no.
I didn't get to finish the episode.
You didn't?
I've seen it. If you give me a I've seen them like 3 times, but I didn't get to finish the episode because I was like last night after I got home from work again last night. I've been working doubles for 2 weeks in a row. Only Wednesday. Wednesday's the only day that I don't work doubles. So I'm working doubles Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And I worked one today. And when I got home from work last night, I was tired. I went there, sat on the couch, and Ashley and the kids were, they went to a ball game and she took kids and some of her friends to the restaurant and Alex was with his buddy. So I sit down on the couch and I was like, all right, I've got time. It's just me and the animals. And I'm going to sit here and watch this episode of Fringe. And I get like 15 minutes into it. And here comes Alex in the door and he comes in the living room. Hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Skateboarding, drums, skateboarding. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. All right. And then I'm sitting there and I'm watching, I've still got it on. I'm kind of trying to pay attention. He's talking to me. I'm paying attention. And I get to the point to where Olivia says something. It's about 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And she says something. She's like, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at Alex and I went, I don't have a fucking clue what she's talking about. I don't know where she's going. I don't know. So I start rewinding it a little bit and I was like, I don't know what she's talking about there. So I rewinded all the way to the beginning where I was when he came in, all the way like 30 minutes of this show. And I looked at him and I was like, son, I love you, but I have to talk about this episode in the morning on my show. And I don't remember what it's about.
Yeah.
And I need to sit here and watch it. And I'm not trying to make a TV show more important than you, but right now I want to watch this TV show. And I'm done talking.
I'm gonna look. So last week when we did this the first time, it was an extra long show. It was the pilot and it was like 2 hours and there was so much happening. We got to, and we covered the whole thing in like, I don't know, last 20, 30 minutes of the show. And then at the end I was like, I don't know, that was kind of fun. Maybe we'll do 2. I am so glad that Brian messaged me. It was like, dude, no, I don't have time for 2. And I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't have time to watch 2 episodes of a TV show in a week.
Yeah. No.
So I was wrong. I was very, very wrong.
I could have done it, but I have other
not without giving something out something else.
There's a lot of something else. I'll watch other shows during the week that I have allotted certain amounts of time for, and those are my shows that I watch. So I have. I
mean, I I can't think. The only thing I do watch right now with my wife is Alaskan Bush People. That's it. Like I can't think of another show that's even on, and that show's not even. It's like we started from like 20. It was a few months ago. We started the first season, so we've just been watching that series, and like I'm trying to catch up to present or whatever. But that's what we watch together. And aside from that, I'm not watching.
Ashley and I have a couple of shows we watch together. The one that we watch together right now, me and Ashley and Kendra, our eldest, we all watch Ghosts on I think CBS.
Oh yeah.
That's the funniest freaking show, man. It's so hilarious.
I've seen that once. I thought it was on HBO. I really need to dive.
It's an old BBC show, and we bought the first season. We bought it on Amazon just to watch the first season of BBC to see how that one was. And it's hilarious too. It's great. They're both grand. So yeah, they're pretty good if you get to see Ghosts.
Well, for those of you kind of tuning in or whatever, I don't know if I'll be doing Fringe Friday title cards. We will continue to do Fringe Friday, but I look at the viewership numbers and we're like, oh, look at this. We're going up Fringe Friday. Like, oh, yeah, maybe we shouldn't advertise that.
Yeah, we'll keep doing we're going to have Fringe Fridays is going to be half the normal show, and then we'll take half or a little less than half, and we'll talk about that's our which
is sad because I kind of like the idea. Okay, anyway, let's talk about some stuff.
I started to say, do you have something that you can talk about real quick so I can go and start my drink because I haven't started my damn.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me tell you what was going on while I got so engrossed in my typing. So I went over to our other Discord server, and I was in the other Discord server, and I went to general chat, and I usually go there just to see what's going on. All right, because I think it's our responsibility just to go and make sure, just to look as mods. We don't have to sit there and moderate everything, but I'm just going to go and look and see what the chat's talking about, the main chat. And they were talking about modding the game. They were talking
against the rules, guys.
Number 2. Rule number 2.
There's so few rules.
There's 4 rules, and that one's rule number 2. Don't talk about this shit. And they were talking about modding it, but I was sitting there watching. I was like, they weren't talking about it, but they were talking about, the possibility and, could we use this and do this and blah, blah, blah. So I got in there and just tried to say something to change the subject. I wasn't trying to go in with an iron fist. Y'all stop talking about this. I didn't do that. I was just trying to, change the subject and try to so one of the guys got lip with me. He just got lip with me. He didn't know who I was, and he said, somebody needs to humble you. And I was like, who, me? And he was like, yeah. So I took away all of his rolls, and then I went, oh, my bad. I was like, oops, I accidentally clicked the wrong button. Oh, my bad. Butterfingers. I keep clicking the wrong buttons. Oh, my bad. I am such an idiot. Oh, my goodness. It might take me a long time to figure out how to redo this. I'm going to have to ask some other moderators for their help. I am so sorry. I'm such an idiot. And then I was like, since we have time now, you were saying I need to be humbled. Can you explain how I need to be humbled? Hello. And he stopped talking to me for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh,
he did say one more word. He said,
that's so strange.
Bruh is what he said to me. Bruh.
That's so strange. I think I do state somewhere that the moderators have wide authority to interpret the rules as they wish. So if that means that you get all your little, I don't know, Boy Scout badges removed.
That's all they are is fucking Boy Scout badges.
Yeah.
Look what I did. So yeah, I'll take that shit away. It pisses people off when you take away their fucking rolls too. It pisses them off, man.
I wouldn't do that because I'm kind of OCD and I'm like, I can't put it back because I'm not going to remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was, and I don't care what it was. I took them all off.
I guess, If my mindset was like, well, I'm not gonna put them back. Well, definitely.
I'm not gonna put them back. If he wants them back, he can freaking get somebody else to do it. But he shouldn't have been a prick to me. Period. Yeah, he don't know who I am. That is a good lesson in life that you don't need to go around and be a prick to everybody because you don't know who the fuck everybody is. All right.
What's rule?
There's only 4 rules.
What's rule number 1? Be respectful.
Be respectful.
He broke all the time.
He broke rule number 1 and rule number 2. So
yeah, all right, okay.
So
go get some coffee. Go get some coffee. I'm gonna tell you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys about this thing I read about last night. I didn't know about it. Believe it or not, big cities got problems with drugs and drug use, and I'm not talking about Deacon's buddies and their marijuana. I'm talking about what is that? Oh, he's got to get his cinnamon. Got to get his cinnamon for his coffee. I'm talking about like opioids, right? And we all know, oh yeah, big cities got a problem with meth, or they got a problem with fentanyl, or it used to be heroin. I don't. I'm a little out of the loop with your hard drugs, but look at this. Is just totally nuts. Let me show you guys this. There is now I guess newest thing is you can get this skin rotting drug called Trank, and it's infiltrating big cities. And the side effect of Trank is it literally turns people into zombies, like zombies from movies. It's ridiculous. This thing called Trank, it's actually called xylazine.
What is it
called?
It's Trank. Medicine?
It's called. It's like some pharmaceutical. I don't know what. Xylazine, otherwise known as Trank or Trank dope or zombie drug, is wreaking havoc in major cities across the country with its devastating effects. It causes the user's skin to rot. So you take this stuff and it makes your skin like start with like little boils or whatever, little.
Have you ever seen sores? Have you ever seen anybody that's like really up close that's really on meth, that's been on meth for a long time? That's the same. Their skin the sores appear on their skin and they just scratch so much that there's sores and little welts everywhere on a meth addict, and they just scratch and they're constantly moving and scratching.
So the drug appeared first in Philadelphia and then went to San Francisco and LA. They cut heroin with it. So they take heroin and then they cut it with this stuff because it makes the heroin high last longer with all kinds of awful side effects.
Well, probably they probably cut it because they have this much heroin and this much this stuff, and they cut it with that.
Yeah. No. They're definitely making more product, but one of the reasons why they choose this thing to cut heroin with is that it keeps the high going longer. So it was approved for veterinary use as xylazine. It's not an opioid, and it's not safe for humans. And people who overdose on it do not respond to naloxone, or Narcan. So the most common, which is the most prevalent overdose reversal treatment. So like you could do some heroin and you're going to an overdose, but luckily your buddy's right there and he's got Narcan. He's going to save you. That shit don't work. So I haven't looked at all these slides. I mean, look, okay, viewer discretion advised. Viewer discretion advised. Sorry. So it causes the skin to rot. And then, I mean, look at this. This looks like a zombie leg. That's somebody's leg, dude. That is. I'm sorry. It's disgusting. I know it's gross. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so you'll see these people like literally like this, just hobbling through the street.
Have you seen those videos of going through like Philadelphia and I think it was Philly? And those different places where they just film driving down like a street and you see hundreds, I'm not even exaggerating with that number, hundreds of people that look like that, just standing, they're all high. What the hell, man? What the hell? What kind of world? That's the country that we live in.
I don't know. I always imagined that the zombie apocalypse would be horrible, but a little bit fun. Like horrible, like, oh no, the zombies are here and we have to defend ourselves and shelter and find resources and fight off zombies. And it's awful, but it's a little bit of an adventure. This is just sad. This is just the worst version of a zombie movie in the world. It's just, it's nasty. So, hey, for whoever, this message will not go out that far into the universe, but maybe it hits one person. Hey, don't buy heroin on the street from somebody that looks like that, or somebody that sells to people like that. Or maybe don't do it at all.
Brown heroin.
Maybe just don't do it at all.
Guy. Make sure that he's got some really nice clothes on.
Yeah,
you're gonna buy.
Don't buy it from. Yeah, I mean, you know what? As your dad, as your morning dad, maybe make better choices in your life. Just make like a couple of better choices.
Yeah, maybe as your morning dad, come here so I can knock some fucking sense into your head, you stupid idiot.
I mean, it kind of looks like this guy's just picking his stuff up off the ground, but I think that this picture, he's just like walking around like this.
They just stand there so high.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Wow. Next. That's
Trank. We'll see if we see more Trank. Deke, I don't know how often you go to big cities, and I don't know what it's like in Kentucky. But,
I try to stay away from big cities, to be honest. I mean, we go to Nashville and St. Louis and stuff like that, but I try to stay away from big cities.
We got guys on the street corners and stuff. A lot of them, especially down in the city. Here up here, there's occasionally, depending on the weather, there'll be one or two at the highway crossing or whatever, but not that bad here. In Austin, though. Yeah, panhandlers and homeless people and just whatever. Even down in the city where I drive to, I mean, there will be a lot more, but it's usually not as bad as when I've driven through Austin. If you drive through Austin and you pass by a bridge, you will pass by literally an entire town of tents of people. Just I don't know where their life brought them, but they were like, this is a pretty good place to camp.
Our homeless. We don't really have we have some homeless around here, but they're really not homeless. Our people around here are taken care of a lot better than the people in the big cities, I bet.
Bro, I mean,
they're still pretty damn poor, and it's pretty bad.
There's a percentage of for instance, if you have a town of like 200,000 people, the amount of charity that people. Yeah.
There's about 35 in the whole.
There's an amount of people that can do nothing and beg or panhandle or get whatever that size of community can help. Right. Mm-hmm. Look, we don't really like panhandling, but we don't want people to suffer. And so give dollars and burgers and whatever. And, there's an amount of charity that people will be able to sustain. And then there's some places that are so large that you think, oh, well, that can scale. No. That doesn't scale. When you go from 35,000 population to a city with 3.5 million people, and the proportionate homeless people scales up, they all cluster in the same spot. And now you have like a barren war zone that's not safe to travel in. Drugs are everywhere. People, disease, violence. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So, that kind of charity can't scale and remain concentrated.
There was an abandoned building in one of our cities it was about a month ago that they went through and ran out 4 people that was living in the abandoned building.
Yeah.
And that's what the story said, that they had ran out 4 homeless people that was living in the abandoned building, because the building was about to be torn down and it was falling down, and it was a structure that they shouldn't be in there anyway. It was endangering their lives. So that's the latest thing that come through on us, was that there were 4 homeless people living in there. But that's the first time I had heard the word homeless. I hadn't heard anything about homeless all winter long, And usually in the winter, when it gets really cold and stuff, they'll start talking about, oh, well, some of the homeless in Paducah and some of the homeless. And I hadn't heard that in a while. So I hate it. When I go to other cities, I'm not exposed to homeless people all the time and that stuff. So when I go to other cities, it's I'm a little indifferent, all right, on homeless people. And I wonder sometimes if I am a bad person because of the way that I look at things this way. And then I try to say, I'm not a bad person. I'm a realist. Okay. Because I will help the homeless, and I do have a heart. Okay. But I'm not just going to give my money to everybody that fucking asks for it. All right. I'm not an easy mark. And these homeless people, when me and Ashley, I love her more than everything in this world, but she is the easiest mark. Okay. If you are a con man and you can read people, you will see her and go, ooh, that's an easy mark right there. She's got heart on her sleeve, and I can exploit that all the way to town, all the way to the bank. And the homeless people will, and she's like, oh, I'm not giving them my money just because you got it. Nope, I ain't got no dollar. Nope, nope, I ain't got anything. Nope, sorry, I ain't got anything. I'm sorry. I'm not going. I don't feel like it's my responsibility to take care of your ass. It's not. I can barely take care of myself.
It's complicated, right? Because you want to help people, but also there's a percentage of your mind that's like, if I give you like money, you're going to just spend it on drugs.
There is a fine line between helping someone and enabling someone. That person will get help. They will get help. They will get help. And then after about 3 or 4 times, they realize this fucking guy's going to help me. I don't need to work. This guy's going to help me every week. Yeah, now it's called enabling. So now I'm not going to have the will, more than likely. Some people do, but more than likely, I'm not going to have the will to go and do anything because you're helping me every damn week. We were sitting in Minneapolis one time, and we were up there for a conference. And we were sitting in a little Pizza Hut inside a Target, and we had gotten a little personal pan pizza apiece and a drink. And there was a homeless guy came in, and he sat, and we had seen the homeless guy outside, and he sat down over there. Me and Ashley was just kind of looking. And so I had ate half of my personal pan pizza, and she had ate half of her personal pan pizza. So we both were kind of like silently nodding and whatnot. And she put her pizza in mine, and we walked over there, and we set it down in front of him. And the fucking guy picked it up and started eating. He didn't look at me and say thank you. He didn't look at me and say fuck you. He didn't say kiss my ass.
Wow.
Appreciate the food. He picked up the pizza and started eating. And I told her, I said, I'm done helping homeless. He ruined it for everybody because he was expecting someone to help him. He walked in that place and he was expecting someone to help him. So fuck them. He ruined it for everybody, at least for me. I'm not helping them anymore. I got burned. I'm done.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I don't know. I actually don't know why. Homeless people other than I was imagining like an entire tent town that I've driven past before. But on this subject though,
imagine that. Though I have never driven past something like that.
Oh
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine you have like an overpass. You have an overpass, bridges, right? And literally underneath the bridges will be like you can't.
I've seen video and stuff, but I've never.
Yeah. And, and I don't want to be cynical about homeless people. Some people are out there because they're down on their luck. But you know what? I have, sadly, I've driven the same way to work past intersections and to get to my office for coming on 10 years. And over the 10 years, I've seen the same people there for years. You're not down on your luck if you're at a corner getting bucks for years. You're making different kind of choices.
Right. Those people don't want to change. I was watching something one time where they were wanting the homeless guy, and they were wanting to, and he did not want to. He was happy with how he lived on the street. He had been doing it for 20 years. It was his life. Yeah. That's how he does it.
Free. People give us money. You go to the big cities and they give you food and medicine and whatever. They give you resources.
One I saw years ago? The dude had it on camera where he had caught the guy on camera and whatnot. He had filmed this homeless guy on the side of the road that he passed all the freaking time. He started filming this guy because the guy went every day and he would go and walk several blocks to his fucking Mercedes or whatnot. He would change out of his homeless clothes into regular clothes and get his Mercedes. The guy confronted him, and the guy was like, I'm a lawyer. I used to work for a law firm, and I make more money panhandling at this road than I did in my law firm. So he panhandled every day and made his money.
Crazy.
Yeah, the dude had it on camera. I don't know if it was, I would doubt it was, but it was years ago.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got more stories, guys. Deacon, you got a second? Because you're gonna like this one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna like
I'm
this
good.
one.
Yeah. I'm just very much
it's the 24th of February, and we haven't done in a Deacon. I'm gonna invoke your white guilt right now. We haven't done enough to talk about Black History Month. Or
you're not gonna invoke my white guilt, buddy. Because I haven't found that bitch yet.
Oh, you can't find any white guilt?
I don't have any white guilt.
I have, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm making a little bit light here. This is a funny story. This is a funny story because this is how God orchestrates reality so that you can run your mouth and be so advocate of whatever, and then at the end of in the last chapter, God will be like, "Oh, did you know this about yourself?" and it resets the timeline. Fun. This is going to be great. Okay,
this sounds fun.
Former Black Panther Angela Davis shocked, I say, to find that she's a descendant of a Mayflower settler. A Mayflower settler. So, critical race theorist and former member of the Black Panthers, Angela Davis, was in disbelief when she found out she had an ancestor who came to America on the Mayflower.
Well,
she's a figure in CRT, which, you know, if
you know about fucking white devil.
Whoops.
You some bitch and crap.
Yeah. Okay. So she found out on an episode of a PBS show called Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates Jr. that she is descended from a European settler who came to the New World on the Mayflower. She, quote, "No, I can't believe this," Davis said, shocked by the revelation. "My ancestor did not come here on the Mayflower. That's a little bit much to deal with right now." She just went immediately into shock. And she found out she was descended from William Brewster, one of the 101 people to come to the colonies from the Mayflower in 1620. I think this is up here. Let's watch it. Let's watch it.
I'm very interested.
Any idea what you're looking at? That is a list of the passengers on the Mayflower.
No, I can't believe this. No, my ancestors did not come here on the Mayflower.
Your ancestors came on the Mayflower.
No.
You are descended
no.
from one of the 101 people who sailed on the Mayflower.
Why is that so fucking disbelief?
That's a little bit too much
to
deal with right now.
How am I going to keep up my career as a
yeah, exactly. How am I going to keep up my career as a professional racist now that I've got the white devil in me? That's man. Let me tell you, there is a okay. Here, I was trying to get his name. His name is H.K. Hedgerton. Okay, there is a man named H.K. Hedgerton. I'm going to put this in our FUNSLINGERS Discord chat. This is my mandatory. Join our Discord server. It's the FUNSLINGERS Discord server. JJ will tell you how to join, but if you join, we had a new person that joined yesterday or today or something that I saw. Hello and welcome to whoever it was.
Hello.
But I will post this name in there, and you can look up this person in there. H.K. Hedgerton was someone that I have met. Ashley's still typing. Her father knew. It was this black man that was, he went around the country and he spoke. He gave speeches and stuff like this, but he was a former president of an NAACP chapter in Texas, a big chapter or something. He was the head of the NAACP and went off to prove his ancestry and how they were so wronged. He went off to do some ancestry stuff. This is back in the day before, we have all this DNA stuff today and whatnot. Right. Well, he found out that a bunch of his relatives fought for the South, and it pissed him off. And he was like, see, this is what happens. The slaves were conscripted. They fought for the South. This is what happened. So he dug even deeper and he dug even deeper. And he found out that they weren't conscripted, that they were fighting right alongside the white men, and they were fighting for what they believed in. And it was weird because he was like, this is not what was taught to me. So he kept researching it. He kept going. And now he goes around the country wearing a Confederate outfit as a black man who's the former head of the NAACP, and he gives speeches to young black men and young black people and people that want to listen about how we were taught wrong and about how he was completely on one side until he actually done research to prove it wrong. And he was proved wrong. So he accepted the research and goes on with it. He said, I couldn't accept the fact that my great-great-grandfather fought for and he went to find out why he did this.
Right.
And he found out why. And I don't remember, and I can't get into details.
Yeah,
And that's
well,
why
maybe.
you'll have to read your own.
Honestly, my whole life, people have been like, "Oh, the history is wrong," or "the history's right," or and definitely like slavery's wrong. And I've always been like, "Yeah, slavery's wrong," and like,
yeah, absolutely.
I don't care about the Civil War. I never did. I don't care about it. It's not my issue. It's not like I wasn't involved. I don't even know that any of my family was involved. Her family was involved. Her family's been here since the 17th century. As far as I know,
my family was actually on both sides, and I like history and I like
right.
genealogy, so I really like studying about this stuff.
The cool thing about this, I mean, honestly, if that person had said that to me, your ancestor was here since 1620, I would have been like, that is dope. That is amazing. Like 101 people, like 400 years ago. And yeah, I mean, look, this is the way the human race works. People mix it up. You have no idea how much of you is like, I don't know, from wherever in whatever part of the world, but it's definitely not 100%. None of us are 100% anything.
Your great grandfather might have been a dick just like you are,
Maybe, could have been. I'm pretty sure he was German, so he might have been.
My ancestors have been in this county for 200 years. My family have lived in this county since the early 1800s.
That has to be cool to be able to know you have history. But
yeah, I really like that. I really feel like I'm kind of, this is my place.
Connected. You're connected, right?
I'm connected to this area. Yeah. And I think that's DNA and memory and all that
stuff. That's pretty cool. But if there's people out there that are like, well, I'm not connected. I don't have history going that far. I don't have history either. You'll be all right. I mean, maybe I have history, but like, it don't matter. It's cool if you have it. And if you don't have it, oh, well, because you still
that's
are
cool
here.
too. No. That's not, oh, well, that's cool too. That not everybody.
You got no history.
Yeah.
Make history. Be the chapter in your story or whatever.
Yeah. Make history.
Turns out, Miss Davis also revealed that, the host Gates also revealed that Davis is the descendant of one Stephen Darden, a drummer in the 4th Virginia Regiment in the 1770s during the Revolutionary War. Now, following the revolution, so I mean, like, she's connected to the founding of this country. She's connected to the Declaration of Independence, pushing off the masters in England and becoming our own country. And then Darden, her ancestor, also moved to Georgia and became a slave owner after the Revolutionary War. So, anyway, she says that she always imagined her ancestors as the people who were enslaved, and my heart and mind are swirling with all these contradictory emotions. Well, at your age,
she hoped they were the people enslaved. She hoped they were.
Yeah, she hoped they were, so that she could ride on their servitude as her moral virtue to tell you what to do with your life. Well, hey, that's life. That's life. Okay, guys. Hey, make sure to leave a comment below, except don't comment that we're racist. I'm not racist. We're not racist. We're just reading the news. We're reading the news and laughing at shit that's funny. Let's talk about Alec Baldwin. We got some Baldwin bullets here. Let's find out what's going here. Man, I wish that this was the most important news of the day, because if Alec Baldwin is the news of the day, we get views on these videos. Here. Sorry. It takes a long time to move the cursor. I don't know what I need to do. Here we go. Alec Baldwin pleads not guilty to involuntary manslaughter in the Rust shooting case. He may not consume alcohol or possess firearms while awaiting trial. No. Okay, he pled not guilty. This asshole was talking shit about the DA the other day. The DA dropped the enhancement charges on his case. Manslaughter. It could have been manslaughter while committing a crime, and that would have been like 5 years. Instead, it's down to just like maybe 1 year and $10,000 or whatever. Hollywood star Alec Baldwin has pleaded not guilty to the involuntary manslaughter in the Rust shooting case. His attorneys filed the plea in the New Mexico court on Thursday, and as a result, the actor will no longer need to appear at a hearing that was scheduled for Friday. The court has ruled that Alec Baldwin cannot consume alcohol, possess firearms, or dangerous weapons while awaiting trial. He also must maintain contact with his attorney and obey all federal, state, tribal, local laws, statutes, ordinances. Okay, well, why wouldn't you have to obey that stuff?
I'm willing to bet my life that Alec Baldwin is drinking alcohol as we speak.
He's not having coffee like us.
I'm willing to make that bet, and I feel pretty confident in it.
I mean, it's a non-zero probability. It's probability greater than zero for sure.
Yes.
Alec Baldwin is facing 18 months in jail if found guilty for the death of Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer on Rust, who was killed when the gun in Baldwin's hand was discharged during a production in October 22. Or another way to say that, was killed when he pulled the gun from his holster, aimed it at her, and then pulled back the hammer of the gun, and then whoops, it shot. The actor's case could go to trial, or his attorneys could work out a plea deal. I bet they're going to work out a deal. I bet he's going to get like community service. He's never going to serve a day in jail, and he may not even. He probably has a fine. He may get a fine.
Yeah.
And
a little fine.
Guess who's here? Guess who's here? Come here, guest star. Mom went to the gym, and you should go back to bed for another 10 minutes. We'll see if that works. You guys want to place bets? Place bets in the chat, guys. Is she going to stay in bed, or is she going to come back in here?
Okay, yes. Let's place bets. I think she's going to stay in bed. Which one was it? Was it the big one?
That was Lily. That was Lily. I tried to get her to come over to camera, but she
the little one.
She was wandered around and then left.
She's
Closed the door. She's so polite.
I think she's going to stay in bed.
She might go back to bed.
I think the bigger one wouldn't. The bigger one would.
No. All right. We're still clocking on time. Let's see. I don't know about that story. I talked about the skin rot.
Wait. Hang on. I was reading the chat. Hang on. Jamie said, never bet your life. And then Manny says Alec Baldwin is tied to.
Alec Baldwin's tied to Epstein via the list. He has powerful connections. You know what? I posted a picture in our chat the other day from Epstein's Black Book. I have a link to epsteinsblackbook.com or whatever, and you can find Alec Baldwin's name in it. Let's see, Epstein.
There was one the other day. I don't remember who done it, but Rob Reiner. Fucking Rob Reiner. He's made one good movie. He
Chad, throw some. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, throw some names of some famous people because I got it right here. Check this out.
Rob Reiner was mouthing about something, and somebody posted Epstein's list, and it had his name highlighted, and he was like, "Is this you?" I was like, "That's funny. I didn't know Rob Reiner was on Epstein's list. That's funny now."
This is epsteinslittleblackbook.com. Oh, okay. It's just some website, JJ. Yeah, we'll see. Let's find out. Results for Alec Baldwin. No, this isn't just some website. It's scans of every page from his book. And here on this page right here, you can see Alec Baldwin, and there's his home and his cell number. Alec Baldwin, but he's not the only one. There, you said just Rob Reiner. Oh yeah, Rob Reiner's in here. I don't know how to spell Reiner though. Rob Reiner.
R-E-I-N-E-R. Yeah, he's in there. Rob Reiner.
E-I, maybe R. Rob Reiner. How do you spell Reiner? R-I-E-N-E-R.
Google don't want to work. R-E-I-N-E-R.
I don't know. That's not coming up. Maybe that's not coming up.
Really?
Anyway, so you can go check this out. It's 95 pages. It's 1,971 names, and there's some interesting folks in there. Who's that real? I can't remember people's names right now. I'd look up some more people. We'll leave that up. That may become interesting. All right.
I want to find out now if he is or not.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. For the so many people in the world. This will mostly be from me and from my brother. And if you're not mad already, get ready, Jeremy. Oh man, I keep doing the thing. I'm not doing it right. Here we go. Tor Books. Tor Books is looking into writing more Wheel of Time books. Tor is one of the biggest names in fantasy publishing. One of the biggest series they published was Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. Not only is it the biggest thing they've ever done, probably, they still send me at least 2 emails a month about something Wheel of Time. Somebody read the Wheel of Time. Somebody's talking about the Wheel of Time. There's a Wheel of Time podcast. We got a something. You can buy another copy of the Wheel of Time. They are constantly still writing this Tors.
You're the one that subscribed to the damn newsletter. Don't bitch. All right.
That's true. That's my fault. Wheel of Time is an epic story about a country boy named Randall Thor who learns that he is the reincarnation of an ancient messiah destined to either save the world or destroy the world, unless you're watching the TV show, and in which case he's just a supporting member, and it's actually about some woman and women stuff. So, the series was finished by Brandon Sanderson after Jordan passed in 2007, with Amazon adapting the new series into a hit TV show. That's a lie. There's renewed interest in Jordan's story, which leads us to this interesting rumor. According to Wheel of Time YouTube channel, What Up? It's a good name. Managers at Tor have been asking writers whether they'd be interested in writing a prequel story set in Jordan's world, or to pitch ideas for what they do in the universe if given the chance. So, just in case you ever imagine yourself as a writer, an artist, a creator, establishing your own IP. Just know that after you're dead, somebody's going to come take your shit and poop all over it. They're going to ruin it and change it and make it the new thing or whatever. This is horrible and offensive. Tor, don't do this. Please don't do this. It's a done series. It's done. Just let it be done.
I know
of something new.
That's what drives me nuts about society for like the past 2 decades, man. It's like we've told that story. That story is done. It was wonderful. It made tons of money. Everybody liked it. So now that's the American way is to that did very well. Let's do the exact same thing and exploit the shit out of it, and do the exact same thing. And that's what my brother has been in a band for 20 years, a metal band. And I've told them, I was like, look, I've said this to them for years. I said, I'm a radio guy. You need to trust me on this. If you guys will pick out, and I've gave them a list of 80 songs. If you will pick out one of these 80s pop songs that was really, really freaking popular in the 80s, a pop song that you wouldn't want your freaking significant other listening, they get in the car and you're listening to Cyndi Lauper, hi, She Bop. I'm listening to She Bop by Cyndi Lauper. No. Take that and make a metal song out of it today. And, I've tried, and that's not one. I just picked that out randomly out of there. One of the metal songs, and there's people that's done this, you can look it up. Pat Benatar had a song called Invincible back in the early 80s. And I always said that I thought that song is a metal song. And that's the formula that I've given him, is that redo it. Look at all this crap on the radio. Just redo something that's already been done and you'll make money. That's what they're doing with your books right there. That's what they do with everything.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't they just do something new? There's no new ideas anymore. Everything has to be redone or retold, or this is my grandchild, or, some bullshit, same story, except with women this time. I want something. That's why when there's a new story that comes out, people are like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like fucking Avatar, the last water bending fucking alien.
I mean, they're literally doing exactly this right now with Star Wars, right? Star Wars was George Lucas wrote these stories. George Lucas wrote these stories, made these movies, and we got to talk about Fringe. It was our mythology for like 20, 30, 40 years, right? And then he made some more, and then he was like, I'm going to sell it. And now Disney's just like, Star Wars. Are you guys buying any of this shit? Mandalorian. All right, more Mandalorian.
Bad Batch. Oh my God, they love this shit. Keep going. Put everybody in a fucking Boba Fett outfit. I don't care what color.
Kenobi. Oh, Kenobi didn't work.
It's a Boba Fett. Is it a Boba Fett helmet? Put it on. Everybody's wearing Boba Fett helmets.
Make sure you put Baby Yoda in that thing.
Put Baby Yoda. Make a Boba Fett helmet for Baby Yoda, by God. He better have one.
All right. All right, let's talk about it's guys, it's time. We need to talk about Fringe Friday. Today's Fringe Friday. We have started doing this incredibly great idea that is definitely going to
sweep the world by storm. Where we give a review on a 20-year-old television show.
Come here. All right,
that
it's Fringe Friday.
Seen 3 or 4 times. Did she come back in? Who won the bet?
No, this is the older one. Come here.
Oh,
come here. Daddy. Oh, Joe, we're gonna talk about Fringe Friday, Joe. This is an amazing show that was born. That was not born. I'm sorry. It came out way before you were born. Way before you were born. This is episode 2. It's called The Same Old Story. A woman has a baby, and that baby immediately becomes old, becomes like an old man. And then within just a few minutes, and Olivia Dunham, our investigator from the Department of Homeland Services, who's investigating the pattern, she has to track down why this woman had a baby that immediately became an 80-year-old man and DIED, right? Yeah. Okay. And then she finds that it turns out that this whole situation is caused by one of Walter Bishop's former colleagues. Hey, can you girls go get dressed? Can you? Yes, you can. Oh, you want to be up here too? Okay. We got a replacement for our.
Can I draw with a marker?
Nope. You may not. You may not draw with a marker. You can go get dressed. You want to go get dressed? No. Okay. All right. So here we have. Well, no, that's not appropriate. So here we have this. You know what? This is just a bad idea. I'm doing a bad. Deacon, can you take over for a second?
Yeah, I sure can.
Hey, come on. Come on and let's go. I want you to get dressed.
Hilarious. This is what's great about the show. This is what I love about this show. Okay. So I loved, like I said, I told JJ earlier, I tried to rewatch the show last night. I got halfway through it before, but I've seen all these like 3 or 4 times. I liked this. This episode introduces you to a couple of things. I'll wait till JJ. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Good parenting. Great parenting. Great parenting.
Here's a half-naked woman. Oh, that's inappropriate. Here is. Oh God, that's.
Oh God, it got worse. I can't turn it off fast enough.
Man. Oh God.
All right, so this baby turned into an 80-year-old man instantly and died, and the woman died too. And then we find out that Walter's former research partner from like the Vietnam War era is kind of connected. The rapid aging of the baby into an adult, into an old human, is caused by manipulation of the pituitary gland and the human growth hormone. So somehow, some way, the human growth hormone is super activated, and this baby became old real fast. Turns out that Walter's former research partner. I'm sorry, I'm talking over. Oh, he's doing a weird thing. It's weird.
That's Walter's former research partners.
No. It's a different former research partner.
Oh, is this not the same one?
Yeah.
I thought.
No, it's not. It's not. That's what
about him.
You're talking about Walter Bell. We're not talking about Walter Bell. We're talking about
William Bell.
William Bell. Sorry.
Oh, are you talking about Nina?
I think this one is Dr. Klaus Penrose. Penrose. Yeah. So Penrose and Walter back in the Vietnam era were working on research to speed up human growth hormone so that they could grow soldiers for Vietnam in 3 years. This was the idea. We would make a fetus, manipulate the human growth hormone, and age it from born to 21 years old in 3 years. That was their idea. Well, they messed up, and Penrose used the tech for some reason and had a kid or whatever. So the son of Penrose has this advanced aging, and the only way that he can prevent himself from becoming an 80-year-old man overnight is to kill women and consume their pituitary gland. Okay. No. Put on your uniform. So the reason, we find out through the series that there's a serial killer who's killing women and stealing their pituitary gland out of their head. He's doing it by cutting pulling their lip up, cutting above their lip, peeling their face up over their eyeballs, and getting a piece of their brain out of their nose and getting the pituitary gland out.
How's that bacon? How's that bacon this morning? Is it cooked good and crispy?
Why you say that? I haven't had bacon.
You're talking about peeling off people's skin and muscle tissue, and I'm just wondering how the bacon people are eating while they're watching our show is tasting this morning while you're describing.
So this episode is about a pituitary vampire. A pituitary vampire. All right. Now,
this
my favorite part of
it. A couple of things, okay? Everybody, before you get to your favorite part, this episode was important in the overall storyline because it did a couple of things. All right, we were introduced to William Bell. All right, didn't they introduce him this episode and not last episode? No, they didn't introduce him, but they said his name.
They said his name. They may have mentioned his name before. You know, they may have mentioned it, but we see a lot of Nina and Massive Dynamics, which is Bell's company.
Yes, so yes, that's another thing is that you see a lot of Nina Sharp, and you kind of see who she's sitting with at certain times, and that she kind of pulls some strings. All right, so that you know that you see that Massive Dynamic obviously has their hand in a couple of things.
It is
power wise, not, they obviously have their hand in many things, but they have their hands in power. They can manipulate things of power that we've already established in this show.
There's one part of the show where she's like, look, in the United States, we're like a company, and in other parts of the world, we run armies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, we're a company in the US, and in the rest of the world, we literally can move troops. We're government.
We own.
It's a very powerful company in this world.
And we also see the other thing
in this world.
And we also see that Walter is not your bumbling old man. All right. And we saw that in the first episode a little bit, but we see him get angry. We see him burst out and get angry. So I mean, there's once again, it's
John Noble.
John Noble.
I will every day we do one of these shows, I'm gonna be like, John Noble is amazing. The actor. Because he can go from feeble, kind of lost to like, oh my God, you're a mad scientist right now. You are a crazy person. And you like everything. Okay. My favorite part of the show, and you may remember this, is like the last 10 minutes or so, Deacon. Favorite part of the show, Dunham and Peter Bishop are trying to find this woman who's missing because the pituitary vampire is trying to eat her pituitary gland. Mm-hmm. They track her down to some warehouse and the whatever. Dunham goes after the pituitary vampire. Peter is left with Penrose and the woman, where they were in the middle of like cutting her open. And overdoses the Penrose then overdoses the girl so that he can escape and Peter can worry about saving the girl. Peter, IQ of 190. Just remember that he's an IQ of 190. Calls his dad. Dad, this woman's going into cardiac arrest. What do I do? And what does Walter Bishop say? Walter Bishop's like watching TV, eating popcorn. He says, hello? Yes, Peter? Dad, this woman's going into cardiac arrest. What do I do? Oh, do you have any cocaine? No, I don't have any cocaine. What are you talking about? Oh, that's too bad. You're gonna have to shoot. You have to electrocute her. Why is your go-to answer? Do you have any cocaine?
That's Walter Bishop. What's cocaine do?
Amazing.
Well, I mean, that's awesome. As we go on in the show, we need to start watching for little acting scenes like that because he. I'm having trouble with my words. I think when my sugar gets way too high, I have trouble my brain picking out words because my sugar was really high this morning when I got up. I checked my blood sugar and my vision was all screwed up this morning. But watch how many times that he tries to that he talks about LSD and wanting to take LSD throughout the show and whatnot because he. It's cool. I've got to talk here real quick, but I want to I want to say another thing about this show. Hang on.
Yeah. Okay. There was one thing I wanted to show you guys. You may have missed it. If you missed it in the beginning of the episode, they when they go to they get called down because of the dead the dead 80-year-old newborn and the dead mother, whatever. They get taken to the like a hospital, the morgue, whatever. So you have I can't remember this actor's name right now. Can't remember his name, but you have her boss and you have Olivia Dunham and you have Peter Broyles. You have Broyles, Peter, and Olivia Dunham at the morgue, walking through the hospital to get to investigate the site. And what you may have passed up momentarily was an observer. He was just in the background, and they walk right past him. And the observers you don't see them. They are throughout the series. You will see the observers.
Oh, that's the other thing. Yes, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. You saw the observer, when you walk when they walked through at the beginning of the episode, I saw him and I thought, oh, there's the observer. But if you don't, this is one of those things that you have to watch this show again in order to see this stuff, because you would have never picked him out. He's just a bald guy,
right?
Standing back there,
just a guy.
But
it's like that.
I was wondering. I don't remember if he has something to do with it. When I saw him, I was like, oh, there's the observer. And I was like, oh, I wonder if he has something to do with this show, with this particular episode. And then as I watched the episode, I'm like, I don't see him anywhere else in this episode.
It's like, it's like that. You ever seen that YouTube video where like 9 people are playing basketball and then a gorilla walks through, and then like, they're like, watch the ball, and you're watching the ball and you don't see the gorilla walk through. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, so what they're doing is that right now they're peppering in the observer into the show so that later on they're going to pay off that. They're going to pay off what he is and what that was. Oh, we didn't talk about this last week. The ad breaks for Fringe are preceded by or followed by a glyph on the screen. It'll be like a leaf or a frog or some sort of like symbol or whatever, with a little dot on it or whatever. Each one of those glyphs represents a letter. In the first show, because it was an hour and 20 minutes, there were more commercial breaks. They had more letters they could work with. The glyphs from the first episode spelled the word observer, and they never mentioned it ever. The glyphs from this episode, when it aired, they got the glyphs messed up, and it spelled BRED or BREAD or something. It wasn't bread. It was like it was a misspelled word. But when they run it in reruns and when you watch it now, it probably is correct. And the glyphs spell the word child. So in this episode, it is a child that immediately becomes an old man. So when you're watching this show, you'll see these glyphs pop up. There's a secret message being written out to you during each episode. So just be aware of that. And that can be fun for some people.
When that show was airing at the time, when it was airing, we didn't know about the secret.
I had no idea. It was like, what is this?
Yeah, but it was weird. It's like they show they show one of them for a second, and then they go to a commercial, and then you look over and you're like, okay, that was an apple core, but was the seed in the apple, was that a fetus?
That right. And it's up there for a second, so it's just long enough for you to see it, and then it goes away. And then in real time, in the early 2000s, it was like, I don't know, I'm ever going to see that again.
Yeah, you didn't pause.
Oh, yeah, you might have had DVR if you were rich.
Yeah, I guess, maybe.
All right, let me show this one more picture.
Yeah, Mr. E, I'm the same way. I was fixing to say that to him. I didn't know that about the secret letters and stuff. I had no clue that said observer and child. That is very interesting to me. Yeah. Does it just say like foreshadowing of the episode that's airing?
I think it's clues for this overall story. For the big story.
Like if this show is about child, because it's airing, he's a child and they turn from a child, and that's the whole episode's about. So, okay, that makes me want to go back and watch the first episode now and be like, was the observer anywhere in that fucking episode that I missed? Is he standing in the background somewhere?
I didn't see it, but he might have been.
This is the type of thing that me and my son Deacon, who I get the name from, this is what we love to do for the TV show Community. There's so many. If you want to have like a watch party with Community to be able to pick apart little bitty things every bit of the episode, me and him love doing that with Community. He's found stuff. I've seen Community so many times, and he's found things in there that I've never even noticed before.
The creators of Community are probably very into like meta concepts, and this is a meta thing. It's not just a show. It was a show, but it had this interactive design so that the audience was like drawn in and had a reason to show up for the next one. Yeah. Okay, so this is the last thing I want to talk about because I saw this picture yesterday. I might have used it on one of the title cards for the show. I saw this picture and I was like, this photo in one photo tells you exactly why TV worked then. It doesn't work now. What is happening in this simple photograph? You have a young and attractive Olivia Munn, right? Agent, someone with power, someone who has a purpose or whatever. Olivia Dunn. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn.
Definitely not Olivia Munn.
And she
definitely not Olivia Munn.
She can make, psionic knives come out of her.
Not her. Olivia Dunham, Agent Dunham. A woman with mission, purpose, authority, power. Yet she is still feminine and clearly, despite her, tragic relationship loss last week when her boyfriend Scott turned out to be like a supervillain. Clearly attracted to Peter. Peter, super smart, con man, doesn't really want to do any work and barely wants to talk to his dad. So we have a man and a woman, and she's clearly interested in him, and there's chemistry right there. This is what normal humans are interested in. Like, hey, what's going on here? What's gonna happen? Is something gonna happen? Not gonna happen?
Right. Yeah. You're kind of like, aren't they? They did a very good job. Joshua Jackson and Anna, what's her last name?
Anna Torv.
Yeah, Anna Torv. They did a very good job. And that's what I was going to say about her. She does a very good job in this show because we always talk about John Noble, but she does a very good job in this show of making. She just pulls off this FBI agent because there's some points where she's very masculine in what she does. And then there's some points when she's very feminine in what she does. She plays that very well.
Let me just say, because I really love John Noble. If you're going to share the stage with John Noble, you're going to be in a show with him and not be completely blown out of the water in every scene you're in, you've got something. You have some kind of talent because otherwise he's going to steal the screen.
And I watched Dawson's Creek back in the day it was a guilty pleasure back in the day.
Okay.
But I always liked Joshua Jackson. I mean, I thought he was a good actor. I like the way his acting style and the way that he speaks. It's kind of like Vince Vaughn. I like Vince Vaughn's acting style and the way that he speaks, his acting style. He's kind of a one style guy, but I like that style, and I like Joshua Jackson. I think he's a good actor. And I really like those three. And plus the chick that plays Astrid and all your little supporting characters, Alvarez and the guy
Royals.
That plays,
oh my god, Royals.
They're all great supporting characters. Even Nina, you hate that bitch, man. At the point you're just like, and
this woman's up to no good. That she's up to no good.
She does such a good job with that role, that actress.
Yeah,
so it's a good show. If you don't, if you're joining us, you're like, what the crap? Fringe, you can watch it on Amazon Prime. You can probably watch it on other places. I think
it's on Freevee. It might be on Freevee with ads. I'm not sure. It's on HBO Max. If you have HBO, you can watch it with no ads. But keep your eyes. Stop doing other stuff. Watch the show. If you want to see the observers. If you want, next week we're gonna. Yeah, we'll do season 1, episode 3 next week.
You're only 2 episodes behind. You watch 2 episodes. It's not a big deal.
But I may not do title cards.
Yeah, JJ I've seen it a billion times. So we'll take the last 20 minutes of the show and we'll talk about Fringe Friday on Fringe Friday. So
okay. All right, that's all we got today, I think. Anything else? I don't think so. There's some like Hunter Biden shit. Whatever. We all know they're criminals. We'll figure it out eventually. All right, that's all we got today. We'll be back next week. Chat GPT, give me a way to close the show. What? Just push the button.